Good afternoon and welcome back to Cousins Gymnasium for our second game of the quadruple header. We've got first round NCAA tournament action from the Tufts Regional. In the first matchup, we had Springfield taking down Endicott in a tight 3-1. Coming up next, we've got MIT and Framingham State. I'm Bernie Birnbaum. I'm alongside Sam Widener. Sam, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, based on the warm-ups that we just watched, I think that MIT is coming in as probably the favorite for this game, but Framingham State has a lot of factors that should scare MIT. I think particularly their senior right side, Alicia Ratcliffe, who is currently the back-to-back MASCAC Player of the Year and was the MASCAC Player of the Week every week but one this year, with 520 kills on the season. She is absolutely going to be a factor in this game, and if MIT can't slow her down, then they might have some trouble.
Indeed. The fact of the matter is Ratcliffe is a one-woman wrecking crew. There's only two stats that she doesn't lead her team in. Those are assists and service aces. Now, assists, of course, that's because the setter leads. But she averages 4 3/4 kills per set. She hits nearly 300 at 275. Gets about 3 digs and a block per set on top of that as well. I think the real problem, though, is that if MIT can find a way to shut her down, she's the main threat. Now, these two teams have faced each other already on October 1st, and in that one, MIT won 3-0. Ratcliffe, however, 15 kills, hit 342 on the night. And Framingham showed some moxie as well. They were down 3-1 in the third set after having already lost the first two. They eventually came back to tie that set at 19 before fading down the stretch.
I think I saw both those sets. I mean, they did lose in 3 straight sets, but all the second and third sets were close. We had, I think, 8 ties throughout the match.
And MIT, on the other hand, they come in, I think, as you said, 28-4, 10-0 in the conference play. Is just the first time ever that they went undefeated in the regular season and won the championship for the conference. It's their 18th NCAA appearance, and they're 17-18 all-time. The glory days for MIT volleyball were back in 83. They came in 4th place nationally, and the next year in 84 they lost in the championship in 3 sets to UC San Diego to finish as the runner-up. Of late,
I think since the 80s they have actually yet to break through this regional championship.
Well, I actually had the privilege of doing a lot of the commentary last year for the MIT regional. MIT got to host. And they eventually lost in the regional final to Bowdoin, but they returned most of the key players from last year's team, notably Megan Gebhard and Devanzo, Liao. The big players are there, and as you're probably watching, the players are being announced here at Cousins, and we'll get you the starting lineups before the match begins.
Number 8, Shayla Dean. Number 9, Veronica Ripper. Number 16, Maddie Lee. And number 17, Abby Burtick. And now the starting lineup for the Engineers. A 5'7" libero from Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. Number 4, Tori Wettrick. A 5'9" outside hitter from Miami, Florida. Number 7, Lizette Tayeg. A 6'1" outside hitter from Howell, Michigan.
As you're watching the MIT starters get introduced.
A 6-foot middle hitter from St. John's, Florida. Number 11, Ali Devanzo. A 5'10" defensive specialist from Redmond, Washington. Number 12, Jenny Glaro. A 5'8" setter from Warren, New Jersey. Number 13, Christina Liao.
And no surprises, really. For
For
MIT, we've got Tori Wettrick at the libero, Lizette Tayez, Megan Gebhard, outside hitters, Devanzo, your middle hitter, along with Carly Staub. and Jenny Glarum, Christina Liao, defensive specialist and setter respectively.
I think one interesting thing to look out for in this match today is the possibility that Framingham might play their middle senior, Julia Wan, in the back row, actually, because typically a team will sub out their middle in the back row for the libero, but this season thus far she has gotten some playing time in the back row.
Coaches or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition.
We'll definitely keep an eye on that.
Possession of alcoholic beverages and the use of tobacco products by participants or any other individuals is prohibited.
And we'll get the Framingham starters for you in a second. The Rams also undefeated in regular season conference play.
Both teams coming in having won their last couple games.
Yeah, if we look at the last 5, Framingham is 4 of their last 5. They, of course, won both rounds of the MASCAC tournament, beating Bridgewater State and MCLA in 3 sets each. Before that, they played last weekend, or a couple weekends ago. But we've got a match to deal with, and so Mackenzie Whalen will start things off for the Rams. Serves it. Gebauer on the near side gets the first attack of the match. Now from the back line, Taillez. Pipped at the line by Thurber. And there's nothing Glarum can do about that one.
There's Ratcliffe coming in with the first kill of the set.
And
Framingham looking strong at the net in that last point.
Whalen once more into the net, and we've got a tied match at 1. And we'll get the Framingham starters for you as we take down the numbers. It's out on the floor. We have Alexander Fish, Julia Wan, Alicia Ratcliffe, Casey Thurber, Mackenzie Whalen, and Deirdre Fay.
There we go, Ratcliffe again with another kill. And we saw Julia Wan, the middle hitter, as we mentioned earlier, actually taking the serve receive on that play with a nearly perfect pass.
So Fish to serve it up for the Rams. Gebauer tipped off the block. Set up and Fish from the back line. Now Liao sets it up. Not great attacking opportunities on either side on this rally. Liao now for Gebauer. And blocked off the hands out of bounds. Point goes to the Engineers. For substitution now, Abby Burdick's coming in, replacing Jenny Glarum. Liao to serve. Liao leads her team in service aces with 45. And that'll go down as a service ace.
No, I believe they called a double touch, actually. I don't know if that...
Well, my understanding, and you being the volleyball expert, correct me if I'm wrong, is that if a serve is unable to come back the other way, doesn't that go down as an ace? But this one's...
If a team is able to get 2 touches on it, it does not actually go down as an ace.
Understood. Well, Gebauer now trying to get the kill. And putting it up into the net was Mackenzie Whalen. MIT now leads 4-2.
And Liao showing us that tough serve right now. Framingham is struggling to pass this.
Liao continues the rally. Serves it to the back line. Now set up for Fay. Fay sends it long. And the Rams are in a 3-point hole.
I think we're going to look for the Rams to send one back to Ratcliffe on soon. See if they can get a kill.
Liao served to Wan. Tipped over the block. Now set up on the far side for Burdix. Set up for Burdix again by Liao. The back line. And the Rams have a sneaky point. It was Wan that pushed it forward. And Fay that sent it over the net. Just rolling it over. Here's Vicky Anderson, fresh into the game, the libero for the Rams.
Going to be a net violation on the Rams. We see here the libero is actually in now for Framingham, as Julia Wan has gone to the front row.
Claire Farley comes into the game. She'll serve for the Engineers. Serve was destined for the libero, but Wilbur took it away from her. Sent over a free ball for MIT. Liao sets it up. The far side, Burdix blocked. The Engineers get the point.
Straight down on the Rams side.
MIT has some imposing height. Got four players rather. The lineup over 6 foot or more. Comes in on the arms of Wilbur. And nothing Juan could do. Juan just tipped it up into the block. All she could do to get it over, and MIT sends it straight back down. Quickly out 8-3.
So far their block has been dominant.
Here's Farley again. Straight back over. Liao sets it up. Burdix blocked, out of bounds. And so it's the block is getting there for the Rams, but they're not actually haven't been terribly effective.
Got to make sure they turn their hands in and make sure they are not getting taken advantage of, because I think that's happened a couple times so far.
Farley again grazes the net. Here's Faye trying to put it over the block. Liao with the rare dig. Burdix now. Here's Liao in her preferred occupation, setting it up for Burdix. Burdix gets the kill.
Popped off the top of the block, and there was no Framingham player to pick it up. MIT out to a 10-3 lead.
And so the Rams call timeout. And it's been uninspiring play from them so far. When we take a look at some of the action from the early parts of the first set.
Well, I don't think we're necessarily particularly surprised right now, but I think that I would expect the Rams to try and get the ball to Ratcliffe a little bit more, no matter how. Even when she's front row, back row, try and get that ball to her, because she's shown that if you can get that ball up in the air, even if it's not a perfect set, she can put a hard hit ball down. And right now they need any offense they can get.
Indeed, and so do you think it's a matter of MIT making that difficult for them by placing their attacks?
I think MIT's serve so far has been very tough, and I think it's really taken Framingham out of system.
Well, here's Farley to continue her serve, and that'll be an ace. Straight off the hands of Wilbur. Looks like it might have been destined to go far to the right.
These floating serves, they move around in the air. It's hard to tell where it's going to go.
It's like a knuckle. Here's Farley again on quite the streak. Now with the first hard hit, Ratcliffe. Blocked by Juan. Liao sets it up for Burdix. In the back row and off the hands of Wilbur again.
So far, the MIT outsides have really been punishing the Rams.
Farley to give the Engineers a 10-point lead. Here's it to the back line. Anderson digs it out. Juan sends it down into the hands of Wietrich. And ultimately the Engineers are awarded a point on a violation.
It's the second net violation so far of the game for the Rams.
Farley on her impressive rally continues into the net. And a break for the Rams, get just the 4th point. And Ratcliffe serving it up. She's got to be doing everything right now. Taillez dug out by Anderson. Bunch of heat off the hands of Ratcliffe. It looked like it might have been unsavable, but the Engineers recover. Now it's Juan. Liao setting it up for Taez. Dug out on the back line by Anderson. She'll do it herself, does Anderson. Liao for Burdix. Goes long. Unforced error, and Rams clawing back.
That was a good possession for the Rams. I think they need to. They got a lot of in-system sets right there, and they need to keep doing that. Getting the ball to Ratcliffe in the back row, and getting the ball to Juan in the front row.
Here's Faye. Now Liao for the Engineers, setting it up. Juan putting some heat on it. Not too much for the Engineers, but Staub's, the Staub brother, sends it long.
Sloppy play on MIT's side right now.
A couple consecutive points for the Rams off MIT mistakes. Ratcliffe serving again. Taez sends it back. Anderson's there. It's set up for Faye. Now Burdix. Dug out by Anderson. And just pushed over. That was Whalen. Taez from mid-range. Chipped off the net. And the libero for the Rams sends it over. Now finally finding some floor with a very clean kill. And that was Carly Stubb.
Serving for the Engineers, number 4, Tori Wichett.
So a little bit of a rally for the Rams, showing some life. Engineers up 14-6. Here's Tori Wietrich, one of the tri-captains for MIT. Faye, and it goes long. Wietrich saw it all the way. It was close.
Point MIT.
Wietrich continues the rally. Dug out by Anderson. Set up for Juan. Juan puts it off the MIT block and out of bounds. And we've seen MIT do some of that, but the first time Framingham has really gotten in on that action.
Yeah, I think Framingham needs to just keep swinging hard right now. They need to, it's important to put pressure on MIT, put pressure on the MIT defense and block.
Here's Faye. Liao setting it up.
Sometimes,
And Devanzo gets the kill.
sometimes when a team goes down by a lot, especially early in a game or a match, they sort of take a little bit off their swings. They're trying to be careful. They don't want to make mistakes, but you're not going to get back into a match like this, especially in the postseason, without coming out and just really putting pressure on the other team.
Well, beautiful serve from Jenny Glarum. Floats over, places it in between the front and back line of the Rams for a service ace. And another timeout called by the Rams. This time they're trailing by 10 at 17-7 in the first set, and things are looking somewhat dire.
Yeah, I think they need a run right now if they want to have any chance getting back into this set. But even if they can't win this set, it's still important for them to try and get some momentum going forward. They've got to get something going with their offense. Most of their points right now have been off of MIT errors. And I think to start off the game, they got a couple good hits from Ratcliffe. And they've had a couple good swings from Juan, and they need to get back to that.
Yeah, MIT has not been particularly impressive. They're hitting just a shade over 200, which is below their 255 season average. But it's Framingham that's hitting at 0, and they both have 3 attacking errors, and that's where a lot of the Framingham points have come from. But Framingham is hitting at 0 even right now. They only have 3 clean kills.
Yeah, I think Framingham right now just needs to, I mean, there's something to be said for spreading the ball around on offense and trying to confuse the other team. But at this point, they need to get the ball to their big hitters, and they need to get something going.
We're back underway. Glarum serves it into the net coming out of the timeout. A little gift wrapped with a bow for the Rams. And Julia Juan will serve. Juan sends it to the back line. Liao, no problem setting it up for Taez. Through the block, into the ground. Taez gets the kill.
I'm going to see Gebhard check in right now. the MIT's leader in kills for the season.
She averages over 4 kills per set. She's actually the second all-time in kills for MIT, with a very impressive weekend. Could be within striking distance of taking the all-time number. She trails the leader by about 54 coming in. Devanzo on the block.
And again, we're seeing the tough serve of MIT really making the setter for Framingham work hard. They are struggling to make any type of in-system offense.
A dig from Faye, but a double touch called against Juan. And the Engineers are within 5 of taking this first set. Here's Fish on the attack. Wietrich digs it out. There's Grock sending it to Gebhard. A good effort.
And Ratcliffe gets it over with one arm.
The Rams scrambled. Another one-handed touch, and that's not really where you want to be on your first couple of touches. Here's Liao setting it up.
Here we go.
Devanzo's attack not successful. Neither is Ratcliffe. Here's Gebhard. And can't find the ground. Juan's there, but some miscommunication, and it looks like either Whalen or Thurber could get there for the Rams, and neither moved.
Right now the Rams need to make sure that they're closing the block, because MIT is taking advantage of the holes that they're putting up in their block. And they really need to make the hitters work harder.
Free ball now for MIT. Liao pushes it over herself and gets the kill. And it's another bit of her bag of tricks. She not very many kills at all on the season. Averages less than a point per set. And not pulling any punches. So Alexis Grock will continue her serve. She's gotten MIT to a comfortable 14-point margin. Low over the net, dug out by Juan, and trying to get fancy. Ali Devanzo tries to slap it back down, puts it into her own net. Rams can achieve double figures.
Didn't get underneath that ball, jumped backwards, and she was swinging, not swinging straight down.
So Lauren Salisbury serving for the Rams. Gebhard through the block, and a kill for her.
Serving for MIT, number 11, Ali Devanzo.
So Devanzo will serve for MIT. 2 points away from taking the first set in incredibly lopsided fashion. Devanzo just in bounds. Juan was tracking it. She thought it was going to land out just on the line, and an ace. Oh, it was out of bounds.
Called it out of bounds, I think, actually.
Here I am. All right, I promise I'm watching the same game you are. And into the block, a successful block for the Rams. Combining on that one were Ratcliffe and Thurber.
Putting up 3 blockers on that.
Alexander Fish for the second time in a row. Gebhard smacks it. Framingham has a chance to set something up nice. Attack goes to the back line. Juan's now there for the Rams. Here's Faye. Faye off the chest of Grock, and the Rams have a solid looking point. Now basically playing for confidence and momentum going into the second, needing a miracle to take the first.
This is exactly what they want right now, though. They need to, try and make MIT a little bit uncomfortable.
Rams, after a double touch by Gebhard, continue the rally. Fish once more. Set up. And is pushed over by the Engineers. Here's Gebhard. And she caught Fish going the wrong direction, and it's going to be a Dodeca set point for MIT. How do you like that, MIT fans? Dodeca.
I don't know if anyone knows what that means. So.
That's going to be 12 consecutive match points for MIT coming up. Or is it just 11? I don't know. They don't pay me to do math. Here's Christina Liao. Faye.
And they're going to say that that was behind the pole. First set goes to MIT.
And not the most inspiring or barn-burning frame of volleyball we've seen. Rams scoring 13 points. I mean, they're playing relatively mistake-free. I think MIT might just be the better team.
I think they haven't made a lot of unforced errors. That's true. But there are definitely a few things that they could do going into this next set to try and make it a little bit tighter. Particularly their block, I think, is one thing that MIT has really taken advantage of so far. Either whether it's not closing the block, leaving a hole, or really not pushing over the net. I mean, just at a certain point, going straight up with the block, no matter how high you get, it doesn't really matter. You want to get over the net so that you can really put that ball down. And I think MIT has taken advantage of that so far.
Certainly. And, you know, we've seen sort of the balance of the engineers and the relatively one-dimensional aspect of the Rams is that Ratcliffe is, you know, their biggest star. She's got 2 kills on 10 attempts. She also has the only block in total that goes for 3 points.
And I think one of the major issues, however, was that Ratcliffe got those 2 kills within the first, I think, 3 or 4 points of the set. And so if she can't, they weren't able to get her going at all the rest of the set, and that's when MIT took that giant lead.
For MIT, on the other hand, Burdix has 5 kills. Gabbard has 4. And as a team, MIT hitting 214 minus 034 for the Rams. Now, do you see a path forward for the Rams? Can they come back? You know, or is this a matter of 2 teams being at different skill levels?
I think it's going to be very difficult for Framingham going forward. I think MIT does, as you said, have a more well-rounded attack. They have just overall more talent on the team, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Framingham can't win this match. The better team doesn't always win, and I think that
that's a little bit harsh for some of the Framingham fans, perhaps. But you know, in the last moments before the beginning of the second set, I do want to give a shout out, you know, to all academic team members for MIT, and that would be Wietrich, Tayez, Megan Gebhard, Jenny Glarum, Christina Liao, Carly Stobe, and Abby Burdix. Basically, everybody whose name I've called so far used to be on the conference all-academic team as well. So, major congratulations for being true student athletes. And for all I know, some of the Framingham players are as well. I just didn't find that information on the website. So, as a you know, in Division III, I always am quite heartened, you know, when, you know, players are taking academics as seriously as athletics, you know, because this isn't particularly the big time.
Yeah, I think we see that a lot in Division III, and these teams can exemplify that.
So Framingham has a 1-0 lead early in the second after the first set goes into the net. Fish will serve for the Rams. Gebhard on the left side. Her attack goes off the antenna for a 2-0 lead to Framingham. Here's Fish again. Sneaky serve dug out by Maddie Lee, fresh into the game. Juan sends a free ball over to the Engineers. Now bouncing off the net and actually nearly saved by the Rams. I thought we did actually get a pancake, and that's my favorite volleyball play, but then a lift called.
It was a nice play. It was a really good play to get that ball up in the air, but unfortunately hard to get it over the net.
There's Shea Landine, the first year from Phoenix, setting it up. And a great kill
And
from
that
Ratcliffe.
has to be the best kill we've seen all day, I think, from Ratcliffe right there. That was a monster hit.
Number 1, Vicky Anderson.
Oh, it's relatively rare for us to see this sort of the setting and the power all combine into one beautiful play, and that's what we just saw. Here's Gebhard, and she gets a good kill as well to the back right corner of the court.
And I think what we're seeing right now from Framingham is they're playing relatively mistake-free right now. They're playing with a lot of effort and energy, and they're letting the game come to them, and that's going to be really important for them.
Here's Liao. Dug out by Wilbur. And now Ratcliffe.
Another good swing.
Gebhard just sends it over to the Rams. We've got a double touch called against Framingham. So a tied second set. MIT has a chance to take their first lead. Christina Liao, who I think, as I mentioned, not only tops in service aces on her team, tops in the conference as well. 4 touches on the Rams side. Vicky Anderson tried to slap it over, given no other chance.
See Liao get back to serve. She really puts a lot of power into this serve.
Yeah, just a sophomore as well. Here's Juan into the MIT block.
It's a great swing from Juan. And we saw MIT there a little too far off the net with their block.
So Ratcliffe, serve it up. Set up for Juan. Wietrich is there for the Engineers. And Burdix puts it down on the floor.
We've seen a tight match so far.
Engineers, number 3, Claire Farley.
MIT has a 5-4 lead. Claire Farley to serve. Farley had quite the rally in the first set. Serves it to Wilbur. Now
Juan with the good swing.
Wilbur with the impressive dig and just free ball sent over by Ratcliffe. Here's Taillez. Tipped off the Rams block and out of bounds for an MIT point. Farley serves it into the net. Probably trying to serve Mackenzie Whalen on the front line.
Got Faye back to serve. Freshman.
Serve to Taillez. Liao scrambling to put up a set, and it's a beautiful one. Burdix gets the kill.
Burdix just managed to weave that through the small hole she found between the pole and the block. Very difficult spot.
Tori Wietrich serves it for MIT. Serves to Ratcliffe. And Juan, who's been getting most of the attacking action, sends it to the MIT side, and it's Burdix again.
Another one from Burdix.
Abby Burdix, another sophomore. She stands at 6'3". Tallest player on the court. Using every inch to get power on that ball. Wietrich continues the rally. Set up for
Back to
Juan.
Juan.
Taillez dug out, can't be played off the net. And MIT's on a roll.
One thing I'm surprised we're not seeing more of from either team is back row attacking. I think they both did a lot of it effectively in their warm-ups, and they both have powerful hitters in the back row.
Here's Fish tipping it over the net. And Burdix has been on fire, and she'll get another kill.
That's 3 kills in the last 5 points maybe, and she is really hard to stop right now.
She's up to 7 on the afternoon.
Suddenly MIT has jumped out to a 5-point lead. Great play to keep it alive.
Here it is, set up for Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe with some steam on it, and from range getting the kill.
That was just a bullet from Ratcliffe. She took off 1 foot and just swung at that thing almost as hard as she could.
Well, we haven't been calling her name much. And now that Juan's on the back line serving,
Great
I have to guess that most of the action will go through Ratcliffe for the Rams. Here's Taillez off the block, set up.
Back
Here's
to Ratcliffe
Ratcliffe
again. Another kill. And that's what I think the Rams want us to do right now. I mean, despite Ratcliffe being in the back row, she's proven she can still get those kills. Just send it back to her. It's much harder to block a back row attack.
Here it is. It was
Back
tipped
again.
over by Landine and Ratcliffe.
And another kill.
And this is the kind of performance that the Rams are going to need to see, as they've gotten 3 kills in a row from Ratcliffe and are back within 2. Juan serves it up once more.
Good serve.
Here's Taillez. Juan's there, puts in a good position. It'll be Fish on the attack off the MIT
and
block,
and now the Rams.
Would you look at that? The Rams are on fire. And the Engineers take a timeout.
Freshman Alexandra Fish is an outside hitter.
And I think we're seeing the first glimpses of why Framingham is here in the first place. And you can get to see some of the action that's just gone on.
Set back to Ratcliffe. Great crossbar swings.
And, well, you know, playing like this, 4 kills in a row, it's not just 4 points, it's 4 kills. It's not that MIT is making mistakes now, it's that the offense is chugging along.
And I think that's what you always want to see as a team. You want to be earning your points. And if you can earn most of your points, then you're probably in a really, really good spot.
Now, one of our favorite features here on JumboCast is that we like to interact with our audience. So if you're tuning in and you want to interact with us, you send us a tweet. Our handle is Tufts JumboCast. We didn't have this feature up and running for our first match of the day, but we've sorted out some of the technical glitches, and for the rest of the weekend, we ought to be able to take your tweets. So at timeouts and at set breaks, if you've got anything to let us know. Most of the tweets we get are pretty mundane. You know, you're mispronouncing so-and-so's name wrong, but if you've got questions or analysis you want to share, just let us know. MIT sending a free ball over to the Rams coming out of the timeout. Here's Fish off the MIT block.
Kill for Fish.
5 in a row. There's 3 for Ratcliffe, 2 for Fish in quick succession.
And that's Fish standing at 5'6", going up against a 6'3" blocker right there.
Burdick's trying to put an end to it. Not yet. Fish just sending it over. Set up for Taillez. Clean block by the Rams. Burdick's again. And I think the Rams have woken up. Ratcliffe into the MIT block, and the rally stopped short.
I think they have some life, though. Despite the stop in this rally.
Here's Maddie Lee serving for the Engineers.
Great swing from Ratcliffe.
And the Rams are looking much more organized than they had throughout most of the first set. Here's Taillez, pushed over by Thurber. Set up by Liao. And the block was there for the Rams, but they can't put it back on the MIT side. Here's Ratcliffe.
Great swing.
Liao
And anticipating that.
Yeah, trying to trick out the Rams. That would have worked on me, I'll tell you that much. Here's Thurber sending it over. Now Liao for Taillez. Tipped off the block and out of bounds, and MIT's come back with 3 in a row. Lee serves it out of bounds for the Engineers. Rams will get the serve back.
Serving for the Rams, number 10, Mackenzie Whalen.
See Whalen serving. Ratcliffe back into the front row.
Yeah, setting it up for Taillez.
Good block.
Yeah, the Engineers are getting some good swings. The Rams have been up for it, though.
That's 2 block touches in a row from Ratcliffe.
Taillez, third time trying to be the charm, and so it is.
Point MIT.
MIT out to a 3-point lead, have yet to run away with this one, and Taillez, who just got the kill, will be back to serve. Gebhard's back in the game. That's top right of your screen there. Ratcliffe back to Taillez. Gebhard on the far side. And there's nothing that can be done by Vicky Anderson, the libero.
See the serve for Taillez.
And double touch against the Rams, and now MIT come out to a lead, and after getting right up and tied, the Rams might be letting this one slip. Here's Taillez once more. And sent over miraculously. Great effort from Faye. And off the block and out of bounds for the Engineers, but Rams did get a break earlier in the point. Here's Taillez.
Strong serve.
Set up for Ratcliffe.
And they're going to say she swung that one into the pole.
And so we'll have Taillez serving again. And it's sent long. Had to imagine that one more point and we would have seen a timeout.
Serving for Framingham State, number 5, Alexandra Fish.
Here's Fish, who had a couple kills earlier in the set in quick succession. Served it up to Taillez. Gebhard out.
Bounds. Yeah, I think Fish, she stands a lot shorter than a lot of the other players in the front row, but she really knows how to swing in a, swing to spots. A smart hitter.
Well, she sent it into the net that time. Engineers within 6 of taking a commanding 2-0 lead. Shea Landine serving for the Engineers. Fun fact about her, she didn't get a ton of playing time. She made appearances in about 2/3 of the MIT matches, but she leads the team in hitting percentage. And sends it over just now.
And we go back to Ratcliffe. And the smart little roll over the block. Another kill.
Number 1, Vicky Anderson.
Got Juan back in the front row.
And she's one of the taller players for the Rams. It's going to portend good things for Framingham. Taillez from the back line, still putting a walloping on it. Ratcliffe parried away.
I think they want to see Ratcliffe hitting the ball a little bit further off the net where she has a little more space to work with. Because when the set is too tight, gives the hitter a lot fewer angles.
Well, with Stobe getting the kill on the previous point for MIT, and Liao will start a rally. Here's Whalen setting it up for Juan, off the block and good.
Great swing from Juan. Ratcliffe back to serve.
And Taillez handles it poorly. And she does manage to get it back over the side, but a free play. Juan Sent it to Wietrich.
And that's going to be in. Back line.
Yeah, Carly Staub. Couple of quick kills.
Serving for MIT, number 3, Claire Farley.
Claire Farley, who's had success from the service line this afternoon. Dug out by Anderson, and now Anderson will just smack it on over. Liao setting it up for Bertix, but she double touched it.
Point, Rams.
So the Rams have a tough hill to climb, but it's based on how they've played it, it's not necessarily insurmountable.
Within 5 right now, and I think that they've got Fish and Juan in the front row, Ratcliffe in the back row. This is almost the exact rotation, I think, last time when they made their big run.
Here's Fish. Wietrich just getting to it. Liao setting it up for Phillips. Georgia Phillips sends it out of bounds.
And that is controversial call there, I think. A couple groans from the stands.
Well, Faye will continue the serve. Rams within 4. Liao setting it up. And setting it up well for Staub. It looked to me like the Rams might have the opportunity to actually handle that one. Went askew off the block. Here's Wietrich. Engineers up 22-17 in the second set, having already won the first. Wietrich dug out by Anderson. Whalen puts it up. Ratcliffe, no surprise, but she goes long. That is surprising. She's been quite on target all afternoon.
And the Rams were looking for a block touch on that one. They thought it tipped off the top of the block, but the officials did not see anything.
And Bianca D'Souza comes in the first year from Stoughton, Mass, seeing her first action, and the Rams lineup has not changed a lot throughout. You start to worry about with MIT able to sub as Anderson mishandles the serve. The Engineers have, let's see if I can get this right. I believe they have a septuple set point right now.
I think so, 7.
Wietrich on the serve. Whalen puts it up. Fresh into the game, D'Souza on the attack. Now Bertix. Juan alert. Keeps the point alive, and the Rams stay alive. Whalen now. And just pushed over. Bertix. Again with the power, but sending it right to one of the Rams players.
They're going to say that's a net violation from the Rams. Just going to end the set.
Well, that's hardly inspiring. You can't do that, but at the same time, you like to see sets at the very least ended based on skill.
And that was I don't know if she actually touched it there, but
well, in any event, we've got a 2-0 lead for MIT, and Springsteen's on in the arena here. I've been begging for some Springsteen all afternoon. It would have been appropriate during the Springfield game, in my opinion, but anyway, to matters at hand. Engineers have a 2-0 lead. The winner will go on to face Springfield. Springfield and MIT, of course, conference rivals. In the regular season, and it was, let's see, I have this written down here somewhere. In the regular season, MIT and Springfield met. MIT won 3-1, and it looked like everything was on track for a rematch in the conference championship for the NUMAC. But Springfield fell in 3 sets to Clark, sort of a major upset there. And so it'll be the first chance for a rematch.
Yeah, and I think anytime you have those conference matchups when they're playing each other for a second time in the season, it's always a different game. When you play a team the second time, you sort of know their tendencies, you know which players they set the most, you know who you got to try and watch out for, and it's always a different game.
And we may be looking at some of that here You know, these teams met, and the first time they met, it was a 3-set win. But in that one, Ratcliffe had 15 kills in 3 sets. Now she's been limited to 7 kills through 2.
And I think that MIT has put a large focus on trying to shut her down. I think not necessarily just through the block, but through their tough serve and their placement of swings, free balls, and anything else going over the net. They're trying to make it as difficult as possible for the Rams to set Ratcliffe.
And definitely some signs of life and signs of hope for the Rams. In the second set, they improved on their hitting. They improved on points. They basically kept the mistakes the same. Huge uphill battle now if they're going to try and win 3 straight against an MIT team that's shown itself to be more or less superior. But I wouldn't be terribly shocked if the Rams actually put together some solid points and managed to nab a set. And if you win the third set, you know what can happen in the fourth.
Yeah. And then you know what can happen in the fifth, and there you go. But I think yeah, they definitely showed some signs in the last set that they can play with this team. They've got to stay mistake-free, but it's not impossible.
Gebhard gets the first attack of the third set. Fish will get the second. Both dug out cleanly. Here's Liao setting it up for Gebhard.
Some great defense so far.
And pushed back down by Devanzo. Alert. And MIT gets the first point. And Devanzo will serve it up after getting the block, or the kill rather. And some discombobulation on the Rams side of the net.
Set was a little tight, and Fish had some trouble pushing it over. Blocked right down.
Fish sends it over and just into no man's land. Bounced before anybody had a chance to get to it.
Right in the middle of the court. That's the sweet spot where sometimes nobody knows who's supposed to get it.
And after the kill, Fish will serve. Liao setting it up. Gebhard. Dug out by Fish. Ratcliffe.
And the same exact spot for Ratcliffe. Again, you see 3 players kind of half diving. Not really sure who's going to make the move, and 2 kills in a row.
Engineers might want to put someone in that spot. Here's Liao. From the middle, it's Staub rather. Tipped off the block and out of bounds for an Engineer point.
Serving for the Engineers, number 13, Christina Liao.
Liao back to serve. Once again, I think MIT's ace leader.
Now, where she really excels, though, and I'm not sure on her stats from the afternoon, she's actually got the 6th most assists per set in the country.
Really?
Yeah. Last year, the freshman shared a lot of the action with Tanu Ajay, also a freshman. Now it's been Liao, freshman last year. I mean, they're both sophomores now. But Liao has really taken over
most of the responsibility, this year.
And there's a service ace.
There's an ace for her. She just puts a lot of power on that ball.
Whalen puts it up. Faye trying to make something happen for the Rams. Now it's Gebhard for MIT. And Faye pushing out of the way of Jocelyn Wilbur on the Framingham side. Wilbur was in a better position to handle it, but there's no way for Faye to have known that. Engineers have a 6-2 lead in the third set.
And another serve right over the top of the tape.
Juan sends the free ball over for the Engineers. Liao.
And Back to the corner from Ratcliffe. Block touch.
A lucky break for MIT. Not that they really need too much luck, but Ratcliffe has solid attack, just a little long cross court.
It looked like she almost wasn't quite ready for it. She'd barely gotten back into position and then suddenly had to sort of jog her way back up into the
Ratcliffe into the triple block for the Engineers. Now Liao setting it up.
Go back to
Staub
Ratcliffe.
can't make it work. Ratcliffe and Wietrich preserving the point for the Engineers and just unable to get a good touch with Cassie Thurber. Engineers win the point. Liao continues the long rally. Into the net. Well, that's bound to happen every once in a while.
Serving for the Rams, number 1, Mickey
There we
Anderson.
go. We got the libero back in the game. Anderson.
Again, Anderson going to try and get the Rams closer. Here's Gebhard. And by some stroke of luck, actually sent right back over to MIT off the dig. And Staub just sends it straight down. MIT not letting the Rams get anything going, and the Rams are going to take a timeout, and they're going to talk it over.
And yeah, I think MIT has jumped out to this lead so far, but what we saw from Rams when in the second set they were playing MIT close. It was tied up even. They were playing mistake-free. They were good swings every single time, and I think we've obviously seen that they are capable of doing that. They can come out with that kind of play right now. It's still really early in this set.
That said, it was basically a couple spurts that the Rams had in the set, and besides that, it's been all MIT. And it's by and large, it's not that Framingham is playing poorly. They're just overmatched. Now, after this match, which it could be over soon, it could be over in over an hour from now, but regardless, we'll be bringing you the third of our quadruple header coming up after this one. Scheduled start time of 5 p.m. That's between... Hey. Apologies. Johnson & Wales will take on UMass Boston. Scheduled start time at 5. It'll come about 40 minutes after the end of this one.
So the set back to Ratcliffe, and the shot down the line. Really impressive hit right there.
Number 15, Alicia Ratcliffe.
And Ratcliffe just wants to be everywhere. She's serving now. She'll get the ace with an assist from the net. Liao setting it up for Taillez. Taillez, like a heat-seeking missile, through the block into the back left corner of the court.
Serving for MIT, number 4.
Well, it was at this point in the second set that the Rams made their move. They were trailing by 5, 10-5, scored 5 straight to get back right in it. We tricked into the net.
Point Framingham State. Serving for the
And
Rams,
here we go.
number 3,
Framingham
Deirdre
looking to
Fay.
make their move right now. Fish in the front row, outside.
And
Got Juan in the front row and Ratcliffe in the back.
Deirdre Fay serving. Finds Farley.
Out to Fish. And too long.
Yeah, and I think Fish had a pretty good idea there to try and get it over the block and curl it down onto the floor, but the curling part didn't really happen.
Serving for the
Yeah, I think
number 12, Jenny
swinging
Blair.
to either of the back corners is, even if you're not putting too much power on it, is always one of the hardest things for a defense to pick up. It's just difficult to direct it perfectly to that spot.
And that time Ratcliffe put up the set.
Looks like a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, it was in a great position for the Rams to do something with it. And there was nobody there to direct traffic. So rally continues for Glarum. Juan solid
with the
hit
swing, yeah.
off the fist of Wietrich.
Serving for the Rams.
And Juan will go back to serve.
Thurber into the front row.
Serve to to Wietrich rather. And Devanzo with the clever tip, just extending the block beyond their reach, rolling over for MIT point. MIT up 13-7 in the third set, up 2-0. Lizette Taillez continues the rally.
Juan back row.
And Liao forced to go up at the net. Does well for herself. Now Liao setting it up for Gebhard. Gebhard!
Oh.
And that's got to be the most smoke we've seen all afternoon.
Yeah, I think
It beats the Ratcliffe attack from earlier in the first.
that one was pretty impressive as well.
Serving for
14-7 Engineers, and
Alexis Brock.
subbing in to take over on the rally is Alexis Grock. First year from Huntington, New York, sort of near my neck of the woods. She serves it to Faye. Thurber tries to put it over. She was stopped at the line by Devanzo. Now Fish.
And just long again.
Point and
Fish has the right idea with that, but just a couple times too far.
Now, how difficult is it to place that ball when you don't have the height leverage?
It's pretty hard. You have to really, it's hard to see over the block. Kind of have to roll the ball almost a little bit. Put enough topspin on it so it'll kind of curl its way down, and, projecting it perfectly is always difficult.
Well, we've got quite the point for ourselves here. Thurber sets herself up. Now it's Wietrich setting up Gebhard from about the 10-foot line.
Strong hit.
And it finally falls on the Framingham side of the court. One of the most entertaining point we've seen in this match. So Grock, who took over for Taillez in this rally, will continue it, trying to give the Engineers a 10-point lead. Near miscommunication there. Ratcliffe eventually sends over the free ball. And Devanzo on the attack. Ratcliffe for the Rams.
Ratcliffe, the hard hit.
Was saved by Grock, who now.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make that happen, 2 times out of 100. But she was just trying to send the free ball over, stopped just enough at the net, and just dripped over. 17-7 Engineers.
All the defensive players back, ready to dig it, back in their positions, and just, hard to move to catch that ball.
Gebhard again smokes it. Juan was there and actually nearly came to Fish. But when you're smacking the ball that hard, very few defenses are going to be able to recover.
We've seen MIT jump out to an 11-point lead.
Here's Thurber. Stopped the block by MIT. MIT is going to coast to this one.
I think, presuming MIT finishes out in this set, this is a really good sign for them going forward. I think, Framingham has some height and some talent on the other side, and anytime that you can sort of, you're probably the better team, but not falter and just keep pushing through, that's good signs of things to come for the rest of this tournament.
Mackenzie Whalen, who started off the match, gets a chance to serve. Dug out by Whalen. Ratcliffe on the second touch puts it over. Here's Liao setting it up for Gebhard. Dug out and set up for Ratcliffe again. Framingham really trying to make things work. Liao with the push on the second touch. Now Liao coming out of nowhere to set it up for Gebhard. And like clockwork, Liao always gets it to the spot Gebhard wants it. That time there was nothing Grock could do, and the Rams get the point.
Framingham is giving it everything they have right now.
Well, the defense for MIT is simply unflappable. Here's Whalen. Now Leo sets it up for Gebhard. Through the block, and the Engineers are back on the right track.
Strong hit right there.
Serving for
They've got
MIT, number 11.
11-point lead again.
And number 11 at the line is Ali Devanzo. Devanzo serves it to Juan. Faye's there, and Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe is going to earn the kill. Really more of a mistake by John Glarum, one of the tri-captains for the Engineers.
Serving for Framingham State, number 2, Jocelyn Wilbur.
And Wilbur back to serve. Junior defensive specialist.
Yeah, for Staub. Juan just getting a hand to it. With very little control, can't put it in a spot where the Rams could salvage the point.
Number 13,
And Christina Liao has definitely been one of the stars of the game for the Engineers. Will serve. MIT within 4 of reaching the second round of this tournament.
At least a few aces on the day already for Liao.
Sent long by Ratcliffe.
Point Engineers.
Got Liao serving with Faye, Wilbur, and Juan back to receive.
And serve. Juan digs it out. And
Point MIT.
nothing that Whalen could do with it.
Whalen.
So 23-10 MIT. It's been a brisk 3 sets so far. And Juan lets it go, and that was a wise move and went long. There's no reason to give anything to MIT. The Rams stay alive. Vicky Anderson. Sent over by Ratcliffe. Wietrick setting it up. Veronica Ripper, who I haven't seen yet, is on the court. Yeah, that's going to be a kill.
Yeah, say that was in.
So Jocelyn Wilbur,
One
defensive
more kill for
specialist.
Ratcliffe.
Vicky Anderson sends it long.
Point Engineers.
So it's going to be quite the number of set points.
Number 3, Claire
Let's see if I
Hartley.
can figure this out correctly. I think this is a dodeca set, match point rather, but again, if you want to tweet at us and let me know I'm wrong, it's going to be Farley.
I'm going to go to Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe.
And Ratcliffe with another kill.
And the senior, you know, what that said from her is that was not going to be the end of her collegiate career. And quick to serve is Ratcliffe. And she'll get an ace.
And while this might be her last set, she's definitely going out with a strong performance.
Kill followed by an ace. And the Rams are within 10.
Nice dig.
And it's sent over by Faye. And off the antenna, and that's going to be the end of that point. It's going to be 3 in a row for the Rams. Alicia Ratcliffe again. Liao setting it up. Blocked. Solo block by Juan. And just sent on over by Grock. Here's Juan on the attack. Liao can now set it up.
Nice dig.
Here's Faye. MIT working for this one. And sent long by Carly Staub.
And the Rams.
I'm a little frustrated with myself. It's not a difficult name to get right. Here's Ratcliffe once more. Rams season stays alive. Sent out of bounds by Veronica
Continues to
Ripper.
stay alive.
And MIT having given up now 5 points in a row. Still very comfortable position, leading by 7 with match point. We have a replay here. The previous point.
And I think right now we're seeing, we saw the kill, and we're strong serving from Ratcliffe. We're seeing a lot of blocks from Juan, and these are 2 seniors in perhaps their last game, not wanting to go out right now.
Yeah, and I think we're basically seeing, Framingham is playing well, and MIT has been the better team. Framingham did come to play, and they're not going easy. And I don't think it could be more fitting than to have Alicia Ratcliffe as the last hope, the senior, the all-star.
Back-to-back MASCAC Player of the Year.
And she serves it up once more. Sent long
Another
this time
point
by Grock. And Framingham State has climbed halfway back from the brink. Very quick serve again from Ratcliffe. No hesitation. Stopped at the block. Liao sends it over herself. Here's Juan.
Back to Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe gets the kill. Rams within 5. Ratcliffe prolonging her career in incredible fashion. Serves it again. Took up by Wietrich. Liao setting it up. Is pushed on over by Whalen. And that's going to do it. The Engineers get the point. Veronica Ripper gets the kill. Framingham State falls in 3 sets. Final is going to be 25-13, 25-17, 25-19. You can see Framingham really each set continuing to better their effort. And not a match for the MIT Engineers.
I think that MIT, just has a more well-rounded attack and defense than Framingham, but the Rams, they came out to play, and they're losing 2 big seniors after this year, but they've got some young players on this team. I mean, those are the only 2 seniors they're going to be losing, and so going forward, they're going to want to keep trying to protect their MASCAC titles. I think 3 in a row. Keep trying to get back into the NCAA tournament, and we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, and this was their 4th NCAA appearance in 5 years. There's no reason to think that string of success won't continue. Of course, it's not easy to get here. We see it every year in every sport and every level. The future looks bright for a team, and every year you have to work to get here. And so we're going to take this moment to acknowledge Framingham State and all the work that they've put in just to make it here. We're just going to go down the line, and I'll go through the names as well. Not everybody got in today, so we want to make sure everybody gets acknowledged. So we have Vicky Anderson, Nelson Wilbur, Deirdre Fay, Alexandra Fish, a first year who was one of the stars today, Lauren Salisbury, Bianca D'Souza, and Brenna Marquis, Julia Wan, Brenna Marquis, my apologies. Well, I won't get ahead of myself. We have Mackenzie Whalen. I think I may have neglected to mention. Oh, I mentioned everybody. Part of it. Molly Meehan, yes. Katie Kelly, who is not dressed for this one. Alicia Ratcliffe, who gets the loudest applause from the crowd, and Casey Thurber. And we're going to acknowledge the coaches and support staff as well. Head coach,
Richard,
the assistants are Shelley Manfanello, Brian Gerard, and the head coach, Richard Caselli.
In his 13th season so far, with a overall record of 233 and 151. So very successful so far in his 13 seasons as head coach.
And now that we've acknowledged everyone, that'll about do it. The teams will sort of shuffle off, and we want you to stay right here. Coming up in about 40 minutes or so, we're going to have undefeated Johnson & Wales against UMass Boston in the third game of our quadruple header. Johnson & Wales, the only undefeated volleyball team at any level in the country right now. And I don't care what you say, it's always exciting when that gets put on the line. And I'll be back for that one as well.
And I will not be back for the next game, but
any last thoughts on this match before we take a brief break?
I think it was a good match. We saw MIT play really well and saw Framingham State put up a really good fight and a lot of effort on both sides. And I think it'll be good to see what MIT can do going forward in the next couple of games.
They're going to take on Springfield tomorrow at 1. We'll, of course, have that here for you on JumboCast, and that's going to be a great renewal of an in-conference rivalry, one that we thought we were going to see last weekend maybe, and one that we're going to be treated to here.
And I will be back commentating for that match, actually.
There we go. I knew you couldn't stay away. Well, for Sam, I'm Bernie, and we'll be back on JumboCast with Johnson & Wales and UMass Boston in just a little bit. Actually, before we sign off, it looks like that match is actually about a little over an hour away.
All right.